तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जना. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and we are in the conversations of Sunday, June 10th, 1883. And we have seen that Thakur, after so many things, told that enough of these bad things, let us turn our mind to God, and he asked Ramlal to sing. And Ramlal sang a beautiful Kali song, and then the next song described the grief of Mandodari at the death of her husband Ravana. Now, Ravana stole Sita by tricks when Rama was not present. And so, Rama had to wage a war against him. And one of his wives, the wise one, Mandodari, was repeatedly telling him to return Sita to Rama with honor, but he did not agree. And in spite of her so many advices, admonitions, he went on fighting. Everybody in his family died. His sons died. His brother died. Mandodari's son, Indrajit, died. He also, at the point of death, told Ravana that they are not ordinary men, please do not fight with them. But Ravana fought on and was killed. At that point, Mandodari wept bitterly, and the poets in Bengal have composed a song on that. And that song was sung by Ramlal. And on that song, as we listened to it, the master shed tears of sorrow. So it's a very, very touchy song, and Mandodari is weeping because she had told him several times. And master said, once when I entered the pine grove over there, meaning understood, actually Kasurina grove, where Thakur used to go for answering calls of nature. So while answering calls of nature in that aside, distant corner, I heard the boatmen on the Ganges singing that song. So it was a popular song, and boatmen on the Ganges, and they are singing this song. And wept bitterly for a long time. So the feeling of remorse and so many things combined, Thakur said, listening, while answering calls of nature, and in the river, some boatmen are singing, and Thakur wept bitterly for a long time. I had to be brought back to my room. That means he became almost paralyzed like due to the pathos of the song. So somebody had to fetch him from there to his room. That he described. Then Ramlal sang about the love of the gopis for Sri Krishna. Akrura was about to drive Sri Krishna in a chariot from Vrindavan to Mathura. So this, we must know the story that Kamsa, the demon king, you may say, but maternal uncle of Krishna, had been told by a divine voice that the eighth son of Devaki will be your killer. And he had jailed Devaki, his own sister, and her husband Vasudev immediately at the time after their marriage. And every child born to them, he used to kill, because who knows from where to count the eight. Seventh time, in the womb, they had transferred it to Vasudeva's other wife, Rohini, who was safely living with his friend Nanda, the cowherd king. And then from this side, it was declared that she had a miscarriage. Now came the eighth, and according to divine command, Vasudeva in the midnight, and many things divinely or providentially helped him. His chains were loosened, the gates were automatically opened, and all the watchmen were sleeping, and at midnight, according to the divine command, he carried the child Krishna in a basket on his head and crossed Yamuna to some distance, and there, where Nanda lived, his wife Yashoda had in the night delivered a baby girl, and soon she did not know at all, nobody knew. So they went and kept the male child there and brought that small baby girl and declared that the eighth one is a girl. So Kamsa thought, whether boy or girl, I must kill her. And he lifted her and dashed her, about to dash her against a stone. But she slipped from his hands, went up, and from there she said that you cannot kill me, and your enemy is living safely. So Kamsa started trying to kill all the children in that area. And every time he would send some demon, and Krishna would see that that demon is killed. Now slowly, Krishna grew to the age of 12. And so many miraculous feats of heroism about Krishna reached Kamsa. And so he thought that this is that boy. And we cannot go to Nanda's place and kill because he is killing every demon. We'll bring him here on some pretext and then get him killed. So now how to bring him? What pretext? So there was a relation of Krishna, Akrur. Akrur was a noble man, one of the military captains with Kamsa. And because Akrura was their relative, and though he was serving under Kamsa, so Kamsa gave him the task to bring Krishna to Mathura. They would say a great bow sacrifice is being carried out, and it's not sacrifice, a bow celebration of a great bow, puja and sacrifice. So, and at that time, so many feats of power and all that will be held. So, to see that Krishna is being caught. Now, Krishna knew that the time has come to kill Kamsa. So, he agreed. And Akrura told that his real parents are not Nanda and Yashoda, they are Vasudeva and Devaki, and they have, under threats from Kamsa, agreed for me taking Krishna to Mathura. With this arrangement, Akrur requested, and Krishna and his elder brother Balaram, who was Rohini's son, were sitting in the chariot, and Akrur was about to drive him. Now, by that time, the gopis, the cowherd women of Vrindavan, had become mad out of their love for Krishna. And they did not want that Krishna should go away from Vrindavan. And so that is the link. Akrura was about to drive Sri Krishna in a chariot from Vrindavan to Mathura. The gopis would not let him go. Some held the wheels of the chariot. Some lay down in front of it. They blamed Akrura, not knowing that Sri Krishna was leaving them of his own will. That means God, he is going by own will. Akrura was explaining this to the gopis that I am not forcing him. I requested him and he wants to go, so I am taking him. This was put in a song and Ramlal sang. Hold not the chariot's wheels. Is it the wheels that make it move? The mover of its wheels is Krishna, by whose will the worlds are moved. So the world, Srishti, Sthiti, Pralaya, the movement of the world is commanded by Sri Krishna. And because he is going by his own will, the chariot is not moving by the wheels. Chariot is moving by Krishna's will. So, what is the use in holding the wheels when Krishna himself has willed it? That is the song. Hearing this about the gopis, the master said, what deep love, what ecstatic devotion they had for Krishna. Now he is telling some stories about the gopis. Radha was the main gopi. Radha painted the picture of Sri Krishna with her own hand, but did not paint his legs. Picture without legs, lest he should run away to Mathura. So see the love. Love makes her, this state cannot be described. Love makes her feel that even in the picture, if legs are made, the picture will be real because it has come from Radha's heart and that Krishna will run away. So, no legs. So that he cannot run away. See, that is the madness or ecstasy of love. I used to sing those songs, Thakur is telling. Very often during my boyhood, I could reproduce the whole drama from memory. So that topic is continued where Thakur is telling in his childhood what was his special aptitudes. Because he was a divine incarnation. So suppose he has seen and listened to a village drama, religious drama done in open theater, he could remember the entire thing and reproduce it. After his meal, those who are following Bengali will find a lot of things are skipped, and we are coming to after his meal. Perhaps in all the languages. In Bengali, a subheading has come. That has already gone. Navam Pariched. A lot of things are skipped, and we come to ninth section in Bengali, Sri Ramakrishna Manirampur Bhakta Sanghe. After his meal, Sri Ramakrishna sat on the coach. He had not yet found time to rest because people were there continuously. The devotees began to assemble. One party arrived from Manirampur and another from Belgaria, places, villages near about Calcutta. Some of the devotees said, now Belgaria is adjoining to the Dum airport. Some of the devotees said, we have disturbed your rest. This is important, huh? Master, oh no, what you say applies only to a Rajasic man. Understood? It is a big lesson for all the sadhus of the world. A Rajasic man, elite, maybe very rich and dynamic or restless. He requires rest or sleep after food. And at that time, nobody should disturb him. Sadhu, if he says that now I am resting, you should not disturb me, it is not the sign of a sadhu. On this topic, I may have to tell something more because Swami Vivekananda, while framing the Math rules, has said that after heavy lunch, one should rest for 2 hours. One should not take serious, heavy work during 2 hours. Now, some brahmachari had gone to Saragachi, where Swami Akhandananda, the disciple of Ramakrishna, was staying. And there he said, they told him that 2 hours you have to take rest because Swamiji has commanded. Then Akhandananda Swami told them, rest does not mean sleep. I also take rest. After lunch, I take a book in my hand and roll here and there on the bed. That is my rest. So, one should be, Thakur is telling that he may take rest. Thakur is not saying don't take rest. But I am resting. I will not be available now. This is not allowed to a sadhu. He should be ready to serve public any time. If he can be of any help to people in their spiritual life, especially, he must be ready at any time. That is the big lesson for all the sadhu sannyasis of the world, especially Sri Ramakrishna's followers. So, oh no, when they said we have disturbed your rest, he had no time to rest. After food, people, devotees are gathering. And at that time, when some devotees said, we have disturbed your rest, he says, oh no, what you say applies only to a Rajasic man. About him, people say, now he will enjoy his sleep. So enjoy his sleep. Now don't talk to him. Don't disturb him. The devotees from Manirampur asked the master how to realize God. That is the one question being asked by everybody. And that is the one question which Thakur is replying with some variations according to the listener's mind. And otherwise, the same thing he will tell again and again. Once what happened is nephew, Rida told him, why you are telling everything at the same time and repeating your things? Why not tell something now as if he is deliberately doing? And Sri Ramakrishna replied, I shall tell them, if they are my things, I shall tell them hundreds of times, lakhs of times. What is that to you? So, question, Master, you must practice spiritual discipline a little. So, question is asked, and you may tell this has varied from other replies where he used to say, do Namasmaran, do remember his glories, keep company. So here he starts, he sees that the question may not be that much sincere. So he may expect something to happen automatically by grace of God. So you must practice spiritual discipline a little. It will not do simply to say that milk contains butter. Example, God is everywhere, God is everywhere. But butter is there in milk. You must let the milk set into curd and then churn it. So set into curd means very quietly you have to practice sadhana in quietude, in solitude. And after some time, you have to churn it. Same thing, think deeply. Only then can you get butter from it. Spiritual aspirants must go into solitude now and then. So now it is the teaching. How to realize God? First, that you should practice. How to practice? In solitude. Now and then. Because householders cannot go into solitude permanently. After acquiring love of God in solitude, so in solitude you have to acquire love of God. Think of God and nothing else. That is the solitude. They may live in the world. If they want to live in the world, first acquire love for God. Love for God has to be acquired by practicing God's company in solitude. If one is wearing a pair of shoes, one can easily walk over thorns. Example, if barefooted, then he cannot cross where thorns are there. But if he has shoes, then even if thorns are there, he can walk over. So the householder's life is full of thorns. And one has to live there and still be attached to God. Then only one can realize. So for that, first go to solitude now and then and think of God. And then when you acquire the love of God, then you can stay in the house because the love is a force that will not allow you to drown in the worldly life. The most important thing is faith. So, with faith, now faith in the existence of God, faith that God can be realized if we practice properly, faith in the word of scriptures, this is faith. And that is the main thing. Then there's something beautiful in Bengal. যেমন ভাব তেমন লাভ, যেমন ভাব তেমনি লাভ, মূল সে প্রত্যয়, বিশ্বাস হয়ে গেলে আর ভয় নাই। প্রত্যয়, so in English, a translation has been attempted as a man's meditation. Bhav. As a man's feeling. So is his feeling of love. Love. As a man's feeling of love, here is that bhav. So it is again
love.
But the first line, how will you derive from the Bengali?
যেমন ভাব তেমনি লাভ।
যেমন ভাব তেমনি লাভ, it is the second line.
ও প্রধান কথা বিশ্বাস।
And मूल से प्रत्यय. Pratyay is here it is equated with Vishwas. Pratyay means feeling. Pratyay means experience. Pratyay means what you see. Pratyay means experience. But here, pratyay will mean faith. So, mool se pratyay. In the root is the faith. And with that faith, is turned into bhav, feeling. And according to your feeling, you will gain.
Gain means you realize.
Gain is progress in spiritual life. So, according to my understanding, I have translated from Bengali. Mool se pratyay, if you want, you can take in the beginning, or let it be there. But bhav means feeling, attitude. According to your feeling, according to the nature of your feeling, according to your attitude towards God, you will gain God's experience. But this feeling will come only if you have faith. Faith in God, faith in the fact that God can be realized, faith in the words of Guru and scriptures. So that is the root of everything. So the question is now being answered. The most important thing is faith. If one has faith, one has nothing to fear. A devotee. Sir, is it necessary to have a guru? Maybe a Brahma devotee, maybe some modern type of devotee. Master, yes, many need a guru, that is the answer. It is not a point-to-point answer. Yes, guru is essential. Because avatar-like people do not require a guru. Otherwise, majority, you may say, require a guru. So that is Thakur's answer. Huh? But a man must have faith in the Guru's word. So, but that means, again, same thing. You have a Guru. What is that? So, Guru is to guide you. And what he tells you must you have faith there. And then you should work accordingly. So, that is another side. Huh? Many people are there who said, we have made a Guru. That's all. Okay. I will tell you a funny experience. In Rishikesh, I was standing near the bank of the Ganges. Some two young people running like speedily, they were going and they stopped. And they asked me, have you got a guru? I said, yes. Then have you realized God? I said, no. Then you don't have a guru. I said, Guru has guided me and I am trying to practice accordingly. No. Guru is he who will immediately give you God. So, 2-3 things here. The Tamoguni, he has made a guru. That's all. And this type of wanting things without effort, they will say, so many words have come, you know. Shakti Path, have you heard?
Shakti Path.
The Guru touches your head or wherever, and it transmits power to him. They call it Shakti Path. Shakti has fallen down.
Oh, it's a Hindi word.
Sanskrit word, Path.
Oh.
So many ideas. So Thakur is telling Guru is necessary. For some it is, for many it is necessary. But one must have faith in the words of the Guru. He succeeds in spiritual life by looking on his Guru as God himself. So much faith in Guru. And this is in Shatachatur Upanishad, it is given, Yasya Deve Parabhakti Yata Deve Tata Guru. So here the question of faith. And faith, how much faith? What type of faith? That Guru is God himself. Absolute faith. Therefore the Vaishnavas speak of Guru, Krishna and Vaishnava. Guru is Guru. Krishna means God or Ishta Devata. And Vaishnava means others who are advanced. So all three are to be equally honored. Okay. One should constantly repeat the name. Now it has come. All the teachings I gave to Master Mahashaya will get repeated, maybe order is changed. One should constantly repeat the name of God. Constantly. The name of God is highly effective in the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means this dark age, and name of God is the more power than other things. The practice of yoga is not possible in this age. Yoga means Patanjali yoga type, which requires a lot of self-control and hard austerity practice. So that in this age is not possible because the man's mind has become weak. For the life of a man depends upon food, that is in this age. Clap your hands while repeating God's name and the birds of your sin will fly away. So sin are made into birds, and if you clap, they will fly away. So clap in the name of God. One should always seek the company of holy men. So all points are coming. The nearer you approach the Ganges, the cooler the breeze will feel. Become more advanced in spiritual life, will feel the nearness of God. Again, the nearer you go to a fire, the hotter the air will feel. That is for according to what company you keep. But still, but is there? But one cannot achieve anything through laziness and procrastination. Laziness does not want to. Procrastination,
Delaying the work.
What has to be done today? I will do it tomorrow. So by this way, you can never. So, according to the nature of the questioner and general for everybody, Thakur is telling all these things. Because this had not come in the point where he told Master Masha. Because Master Masha had us very seriously. People who desire worldly enjoyment say about spiritual progress, well, it will all happen in time. We shall realize God sometime or other. I remember a funny story I told once. One young boy, sometimes thinking of marriage, non-marriage, and decided that he will marry because so many desires are there. Now he had heard that the sadhu's life is fast towards God. Householder also will go to God, but it will be slow. So he was telling our Maharaj, I will take the slower path. But he does not know, if you try intensely, the result will be slow. If you decide to go slowly, you will never go. That is what Thakur is telling here. We shall realize God sometime or other, in time. I said to Keshav Sen, when a father sees, so the result of intensity through a legal story. That means there is a age when, in those days, a boy is supposed to have become the major. And at that point, the property should be transferred to him. In that context, Thakur is telling, when a father sees that his son has become restless for his inheritance, he gives him his share of the property even 3 years before the legal time. Even 3 years before. So, intensity, God will let you realize earlier. A mother keeps on cooking, so many beautiful examples. A mother keeps on cooking while the baby is in bed, sucking its toy. Variety, sometimes playing as said. Now, baby, sucking his toy. But when it throws the toy away and cries for her, she puts down the rice pot and takes the baby in her arms and nurses it. So she is cooking, but she will leave that half and come to the baby. So God can be called. I said all this to Keshav. That means Brahmas were slack in their effort. So he told this. It is said that in the Kali Yuga, if a man can weep for God one day and one night he sees him. Who has said this? We have heard from Thakur himself. Which appears very easy, but is not easy. Feel picked at God and say to him, so, when you love somebody and when you feel that he is your own, then only you can show anger. Otherwise, that person will say, oh, I have nothing to do. So this is the important thing. Develop love for God, and then this man and all that can be applied. Say to him, you have created me, now you must reveal yourself to me. So this one's own, this has come by God has created me. First of all, you should understand that God has created you. Funny story, let us have. One inspector went to a school and is asking the question. So he asked a 8 years old boy, who created you? Who could not reply. Then he asked a 5-year-old boy, who created you? He said, God. Then he told the elder boy, see, even he is younger than you and he knows, you do not know. He said, sir, it is only 5 years that God made him. So he remembers. He made me 8 years back, I forgot. That means as the people grow in the world, they have tendency to forget God. So first you have to know. And then because of that, you are his own, he is your own, you are his own. So you can say that you have created me, now fulfill my life. You have created me not for nothing. You have created me as man only to realize you. So many things are involved in this small. You have created me, so you have to fulfill my life. Whether you live in the world or elsewhere, always fix your mind on God. So they are not asked that point, but he sees that there are householders and he is not telling them you should take sannyas, but that also is a path. So whether you live in the world or elsewhere, main thing is that you have to fix the mind on God. The mind soaked in worldliness may be compared to a wet matchstick. Thakur's comparisons and stories are endless and apt. You won't get a spark, however much you may rub it. Ekalavya placed the clay image of Drona, his teacher, in front of him and thus learned archery. This is another story from Mahabharata. There was a boy, Ekalavya. According to today's language, you may say ST, scheduled tribes. That means a boy living in forest. Now he wanted to be taught by Drona, Dronacharya. And Dronacharya is the royal teacher, teachers of Pandavas and Kauravas. So how will he teach that forest dweller? So this Ekalavya makes an image of Drona. And thinking that he is my guru, in front of him he practiced archery. And he came to such perfection that Arjuna and all that became afraid. So Thakur is giving that story. Opposite of that old mastic, huh? Eklavya placed the clay image of Drona, his teacher. His teacher means he made him the teacher in front of him and thus learned archery. Go forward. That is another thing. Yesterday we had heard this a little jumpingly. Go forward. Now he is telling in detail. Go forward. The woodcutter, following the instructions of the holy man, went forward and found in the forest sandalwood. He was cutting wood from a forest and he was not earning much money. And he requested the holy man. Holy man said, go forward. So when he went further than his forest, he saw a sandalwood forest. And then after some time, he remembered he did not tell me sandalwood. He told me to go forward. So he went still forward. So he got mines of silver. And still forward, mines of gold. And going still further, he found diamonds and other precious stones. So as one progresses in spiritual life, he will get spiritual qualities, he will get nearness of God, his gain will be more and more until he attains the perfection of life. So that is the way. The ignorant are like people living in a house with clay walls. Another example. There is very little light inside and they cannot see outside at all. No electric bulbs in those days. Huh? But those who enter the world after attaining the knowledge of God, now straight away goes up to knowledge of God, are like people living in a house made of glass. Protection is there, but you can see everything outside. For them, both inside and outside are light. They can see things outside as well as inside. Inside means what is in their mind, what is in their heart and soul, and what is in the world. Now he gives the conclusion, Vedanta. Nothing exists except the One. The One. That One is the Supreme Brahman. Brahman means biggest of all in every respect. So he is transcendent, immanent, creator, preserver, destroyer of the world, has infinite qualities. That is Brahman. And in Brahman, we divide into two experiences, Nirgun Brahman and Sagun Brahman. So God immanent in the world only is lower Brahman. And God beyond everything also, along with being everywhere, is called the Supreme Brahman. That is the only one, means only that exists, nothing else exists. So all these are appearances. Straight away. He has asked a question and Thakur is going on telling. Huh? The question was necessary to have a guru. Huh? And from there everything. And the previous question was how to realize God. So he goes on building upon that. So long as he keeps the I in us, he reveals to us that it is he who, as the primal energy, creates, preserves, and destroys the. Here it is different. That Supreme Brahman. And there is what is the called as lower Brahman. So if he keeps I in us, we can experience the lower Brahman. If we can transcend our own I, then only the Supreme Brahman will be realized. So I in us, then primal energy. That means Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Karta hai God. That much he can read very clear. That which is Brahman is also the primal energy. Because Brahman itself has the capacity or power to appear as this word. So when he does that, we call it energy. They are not two things. Once a king asked the yogi to impart knowledge to him in one word. The yogi said, all right, you will get knowledge in one word. You will get. Huh? After a while, a magician came to the king. The king saw the magician moving two of his fingers rapidly and heard him exclaim, behold, O king, behold. The king looked at him amazed. When after a few minutes he saw the two fingers becoming one. The magician moved that one finger rapidly and said, behold, O king, behold. Vedantic expression. The implication of the story is that Brahman and the primal energy at first appear to be two. But after attaining the knowledge of Brahman, one does not see the two. Then there is no differentiation, it is one without a second Advaita non-duality. So that is the end point. The master was very happy to see a musician who had come with the devotees from Bulgaria. Sometime before Sri Ramakrishna had gone into an ecstatic mood on hearing his devotional music. The name is not given here. No, in Bengali it is the name. Anyway. At the master's request, the musician sang a few songs, one of which described the awakening of the Kundalini and the six centers. We'll take it up tomorrow. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibirīditam Kalmashāpaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.